my channel. My name is Rabya and welcome to video number 21 for me. So today we're going to be creating or going over mostly how I like to contour and highlight my face. So this is more so if you have a like heart-shaped face. That's what I've told I have. I've gained a little bit of weight, so it looks pretty round, but I actually do have a heart-shaped face. And so basically I'm going to be going over how to get your cheekbones chiseled and how to go make your forehead look smaller, and the products I like to use. Most of the products I'm using are affordable, so I hope that it's helpful, and then some things I use more high-end. And yeah, I really hope that you guys find this video helpful, and let's just get in to the video. Okay, so I moved you guys in a little bit closer so you can see exactly what I'm doing on my face. So I've already prepped my skin, which is one of my how-to videos, and done the foundation. So next I'm going to be going in with concealer. So the first concealer I'm going to be using is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. And I use this in the shade Sand. And I'm just going to conceal where I like to highlight my face and also conceal like my dark circles. So I'm going to first start this off underneath the eyes. And with highlighting, I like to take it down pretty low, just because like I feel like all of this, when the light hits your face, all of this gets lit up. Then I like to highlight down the center of my face and down my nose and on my chin. And with this concealer I've said many times before, it works best if you let it dry up a little bit before going in and blending it out. So while it's drying up, I'm going to go in with my contour concealer. So for that, I'm going to be using the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. And I'm using this in the shade C12. And so what I'm going to do with this is like where I want to hollow out my face. So I have a big forehead and I don't have very pronounced cheekbones anymore. So I like to just find my cheekbones. So like I just dot this on right here in that. And then I like to just like take it across my forehead as well. And I take it pretty close to my hairline and I kind of bring it down towards my eyebrow just because I want to give the effect that my forehead is a lot smaller than it actually is. And then I like to also come down and around my jawline. And also I hit it right underneath my lip. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. For the nose, because this is such a pigmented concealer, I only take it on like the exact sides of my nose. And you want to keep this pretty straight because if you mess up your nose contour, it really messes with the center of your face. So I like to just cinch my nose a little bit. So I go a little bit on top of like my actual nose, not on the sides. And then I take it around and I just literally only just do like contour the tip, and then when I blend it, I'm going to blend it upwards. And then I also just like to hit it underneath the nose. So this is my contour face. And so we're going to start blending this out, and I'm first going to blend out the darker concealer. To blend out the contour, I'm going to be going in with this crown brush. I like it because it's more of like a dome shape, so as you can see it's like domed out a little bit. So it helps with the blend of it. And I like to do this in like circular motions, but pushing it more so upwards. So I do like kind of do a circular motions, but I never go like all around. It's like circular motions, but pushing up a little bit because you want that definition to like be clear of like your lower jawline. So I just like to circular and push up. And when I start working on these sides, I like to do circular motions, but pushing back into my hairline. So I never like, all of like cream contouring for me is very like, I guess like specific. I don't want this color to go anywhere that I'm not planning on having it. So I'm also just gonna work this right underneath my jawline. Okay, and then so for the nose, I'm gonna go in actually with this Morphe MB25 brush, which is just a smaller domed brush. And I'm just going to work this onto the nose contour. So I work the nose contours in an upward motion. And so you can see that even though I only stopped the contour like this far, like that pigment chiseled out the entirety of my nose. And I just like to do this way just because I don't want too much definition on my nose, because I don't like the look of a harsh nose contour. Like, I honestly just love everything to look super soft and super natural. So that's why I do my makeup in this way. But obviously you could go all, like, if you wanted like that super, like, you could like, not, I don't want to say that you could tell, but like super contoured look, you could take that product all the way up and blend it out. But I just like the look of like, maybe she just has a good nose. Okay, and then now I'm gonna blend out this Maybelline concealer. I'm gonna go back in with my sponge, and I'm going to mist it with a little bit of the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. I'm just gonna mist it and blend out this concealer. So the way I like to do my contour and highlight is based on my face shape. So like I said, I have a pretty prominent forehead, so I want to make that look smaller. So that's why I took the contour pretty deep into my eyebrows, just to give my forehead the illusion of being smaller. So you wouldn't want to do that if you already have like a smaller forehead. I do think that you should put some color like all around your face, like even if you have a small forehead, like maybe just a little bit, just to like balance out color on your face. Like, you don't want it to be like one color in the center of your face and the top of your face is like just like completely thrown off because there's no balance. But the amount of product you do and the amount of placement you do is just based on your face shape. So just keep playing with makeup until like you find what's like suitable for you. So like for me, I like to pronounce my cheekbones. That's why I do my highlighting in the way I do, and my contouring in the way I do. I just want this part of my face to come forward. So I hope that you guys can see that difference from like what I looked like without makeup. And so I want to bring highlight to this section, and I want to shade in the sides of my face and like my double chin. So that's why I do it that way. Okay, so now that this is blended out for the most part, I am going to go in and highlight a little bit more just because I want it to be a little bit more stark. So I'm going to go in at this point with the Too Faced Born This Way concealer, and I'm using this in the shade Natural Beige. And this one I'm going to use super like lightly. So I'm just going to put this right underneath the hollows of my face just to create more light underneath here. And I'm also going to use this concealer to highlight the tops of my eyelids for eyeshadow application. And I'm just going to again blend it out with my dampened beauty blender. Now I'm going to go in and set all that highlighting that I did, and for that I'm going to be taking the Fenty powder, and this is in the shade Banana. And so sometimes I like to bake with this, sometimes I don't. It's based on preference. Today I feel like I'm pretty bright, so I don't really want to bake. So I just like to push it onto my beauty blender and push this product right underneath of my eyes. And I'm going to do this with all, like everywhere that I set like that highlight. So like on top of my eyes and down the center of my face. I've found that on my skin tone. So if you're like a MAC NC42 or anywhere near there and you're struggling to find a good brightening banana powder, like this banana powder from Fenty is really good. Like, it just sits really well with my skin, and it helps like when I push the powder into my skin the way I am right now, it helps the makeup last all day, which I love so much. And like, I don't know if you could tell, it just smooths out my skin. And like I've said about baking before, is even if you do want to bake, like you should set your entire face first, just so that your creases are all set down before you bake. Because if you don't do that step, I feel like the bake will like set down all of your creases. So just blend out your blend out your concealer, push in some powder, and then bake on top, and you'll get, like, if you have a hard time with like getting a smooth effect with baking. For the rest of my face, I'm going in with the Laura Mercier Candle Glow powder, and this is in the shade 5. And I just like to take a big fluffy brush like this. This is the Moda Pro BMX 130, so it's big and fluffy. And lightly just push it all into my skin. Okay, so I like this powder because it sets everything, but it doesn't take away, so you can still see the contour shining through all of this. Like, it didn't take away from that, but it just like really softened everything up for me and also sets everything. And now to further define that contour, I'm going to be going in with the Wet n Wild contouring palette, and this is in the shade Dulce de Leche. And I'm just going to go in with the contour powder in here. And I am taking this on a Luxie tapered highlighting brush just because I want a really light finish. And I'm just going to work this again in circular motions right on top of where I put that cream contour down, just to bring definition to it again. So here you can see it's like I'm working really lightly, barely applying any pressure on the brush and on my skin, just because I want a light flush of this. So here you can see the contour like with the powder on top, and this is what it looks like without. So I'm just gonna do this all over everywhere that I contoured. And with powder, I just feel like it's a little bit more forgiving than like creams. So I'm a little bit more comfortable with powder, and I do kind of go a little bit like more heavy-handed with powder, just because I feel like powder is easy to blend out. Like, if you put too much cream contour on, like, you have a harder time blending it. And so if you're new to contouring, I would start like first with powder, contour, powder, bronzer. Okay, so really quickly I wanted to hit on the difference between bronzing and contouring. So bronzing is adding color to your face because naturally our faces have color to them. So like, you know, you're not one face. So when you put on foundation, you get a clean and blank canvas. And so bronzing is just bringing back dimension to your face and color to your face. Whereas contouring is more for sculpting your face. So bringing forward features and taking back certain features. So that's the difference between bronzing and contouring. And also bronzing is usually done with a warmer toned powder, like to kind of mimic the look of like a tan, or you know. And contouring is done with a cooler toned color, just because you're trying to mimic the effect of shadow. And that is what I look like contoured and highlighted. I really hope that this was helpful. So I'm just going to really quickly throw on the rest of my face, and we'll be back to wrap up this video. Okay guys, so this is the makeup look I created. So if you want to see a tutorial on how I got this look, it will be up on my Instagram. And yeah, I used the new Anastasia Riviera palette for this. This is such a beautiful palette, so colorful, so I feel like I want to get more use out of this. So let me know if you would like to see a review or maybe a 3 looks using one palette video with this. And yeah, so I hope you found this video helpful. I really hope that I hit some points, maybe helped you out with some parts of contouring that was intimidating. And yeah, if you would like to know more, please leave me questions down below, and I'll try to answer them and maybe do a follow-up video. And yeah, I really hope that you have a wonderful, beautiful day, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!